Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm over here inside the building. I'm Matt Marco, and I want to welcome everybody to the North Oakland Republican Club, the AFP Freedom Picnic. Thank you all for coming. And we want to particularly, we guarantee you're going to get your money's worth out of your food and everything today. And we want to thank our sponsors for providing all the resources so we could do this for you. And we've got our title sponsor is Americans for Prosperity. Luke Anthony is here.
Thanks, Matt. I think this is our third or fourth year sponsoring the picnic, so always great to sponsor Norc and work with Norc. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Luke Anthony. I've been to a couple of the parades that Norc has done, and we sponsored that as well as a couple of the meetings. But for those of you that don't know, our biggest priority for the first half of the year was getting the big, beautiful bill signed into law, and thankfully, through our work and many other organizations' work, we were able to achieve that and save every Michigander on average about $2,000 a year in taxes. So it's a really big accomplishment, and we're very glad that President Trump signed that bill into law. So it's truly great. So that was only a couple weeks ago, so it was a huge accomplishment, and now we can start working on building toward the midterms and get more Republicans elected. So it's truly a great opportunity for us, but I'm glad to be here, glad to sponsor. I hope everyone enjoys the food, and nice working with you, Matt, and nice working with Norc. So thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. It's Luke Anthony with AFP Michigan, Americans for Prosperity. They're a candidate for Attorney General, and as far as I know, there's two. And in January, we're going to perhaps host a debate. So we'll talk about that. Kevin Kajooki, thank you for coming, and thanks for sponsoring.
Thank you. My pleasure. I'm not going to go ahead and bore you, but I'm Kevin Kiewski, if you want to say it the Polish way. Kevin Kajooki, if you want to say it the English way. It doesn't matter to me. But let me just tell you why I'm running. I want to do three things for Michigan. Number one, I want to make sure we're able to restore security. Second, I want to make sure that we're going to be able to restore our constitutional rights. And third, making sure that we can restore our faith in government in addition to our elections, because right now, all three of those are in danger. Let's talk about that first area. I'm going to give you two numbers. The first number is 50%. That's representative of the increase in the number of folks in the Attorney General's office ever since Dana Nessel took over. You know what the second number is? 10%. That's the number increase of actually murders in the state of Michigan during the same time. So we hire more lawyers and you're less safe, right? You know why that's happening? Because she's going after imaginary crimes instead of actually real crimes. One of the things I'm doing right now, I'm representing a handful of the electors right now that are going through this persecution by Dana Nessel back from 2020. You have 16 alternate electors being charged with crimes. You add them up all together. You know how much we're talking about in prison? 85 years. For what? For signing your name to a piece of paper saying that they thought that Trump won? You know what takes the cake too about that? Dana Nessel's on video talking to a liberal group in California. You know what she says? She says, oh, well, these people truly believe that Donald Trump won the election. And it doesn't matter to me. You know why that's a problem? If someone truly believes that what they're doing is the right thing, you can't charge them with forgery or fraud. She basically shot herself in the foot when it comes to that criminal intent prong. So what did we do recently about that? Well, we actually sued her in federal court. And right now, and actually it's still pending, we'll figure it out in a few weeks, but about a week and a half ago, I filed a petition petition for certiorari in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. And it's called, essentially, Frost versus Nestle. You could go on my website, you can take a look at it. It's in the Daily Pundit. You can actually read all about it because Dana Nestle, she has a lot of explaining to do. The second thing I want to do, too, is to make sure that we're able to restore constitutional freedoms. Constitutional freedoms, of course, your ability to worship, to speak, to do whatever you like, to share your viewpoints with the world. But as well, remember COVID? We all do. And what happened during COVID? They shut down the parks, they shut down your schools, they shut down restaurants, they shut down everything. And you know what also they did? In terms of what I was doing during that time, I actually was the superintendent of schools for the Archdiocese of Troy. I was the school superintendent. I had 90 schools, 30,000 kids, 3,000 employees. The first time they shut down the schools, I'm like, okay, this is really weird. The second time, however, that they attempted to shut down the schools, November 2020, they said that, what? All the high school kids are super spreaders. We're going to shut down all the high schools. In addition to being the superintendent, I was actually the vice chairman of MANS, the Michigan Association of Non-Public Schools. And you know what we did? Enough is enough. We actually sued the governor. And hours before, I kid you not, hours before the federal judge was going to rule on our TRO, we already had oral arguments, the governor had an impromptu press conference. And she's just like, ladies and gentlemen, the science and the evidence has changed. We don't have to worry about our kids. They could go back to school tomorrow. Why did she do that? She knew she was going to lose. Her attorneys general, these assistant attorneys general that argued the case, they really didn't have a basis to keep kids out of school. And then last but not least, I want to make sure we're able to restore faith in elections. And what do I mean about that? Remember all these 15 people that purportedly voted that are not U.S. citizens? And what happened? Well, we don't know who they are. We're going to challenge that, and we're going to figure out what happened. And if people need to be criminally charged, we will do that. So if you want to know more about me, go to kevin4mi.com. You can look me up on Twitter. And thank you so much for your support. We're going to make Michigan red again. Thank you.
Kevin Kiefsky, running for Attorney General. Thank you, Kevin, and thanks for being a sponsor of the AFP Norc picnic. Dalton, thanks for sponsoring, and tell us who you are and why you're running.
Oh, I guess I should have waited for you to hand me it. All right, thank you so much. Hey, and we got a lot of people to hear from here, a lot of good people, so I'm going to be quick and straight to the point. My name is Dalton Atwell, and I'm running for the 9th U.S. Congressional District. And I'm just here to make myself available for any ideas, questions, or concerns you guys may have. And but I will take a second and tell you guys about myself. In business, I started with $1,200 12 years ago. I don't come from money, just hard work. Okay, yearly, I would put 80 to 100,000 miles on a vehicle, and I would make myself available to 80 to 100,000 customers every year. Why am I telling you this? Because we're going into 6 years of the most unavailable congressperson in history for the 9th District. And I have the background where I could be the most available ever. I have 8 to 10 employees at the busiest corner of Saginaw County, the last light going into Franklin, Michigan. We've been blessed in business. We have a brand new facility right there, but my people are taking care of that while I work on this. I do this like a job now. I've been doing this for 2 or 3 months. I've traveled all over the Dome, corner of Saginaw County, the last light going into Franklin, Michigan. We've been blessed in business. We have a brand new facility right there, but my people are taking care of that while I work on this. I do this like a job now. I've been doing this for 2 or 3 months. I've traveled all over the Dome, which is the 9th District. And it's also important to know I'm pro-life, pro-gun, and I'm a strict constitutionalist.
All right, so the Grand New Party PAC was founded to support the liberty and the Grand to support the conservative and liberty-focused Republican Party across Michigan. I got involved as the treasurer about a year ago, and during election time, we support the conservatives up through the primary, and then we rally around all the Republicans across the state race. We have some trainings coming up for delegates, Republican delegates, to help them, and we have a coach training for candidates, grassroots candidates, who are needing a little help so we can help push them across the finish line. So you can check us out at the gnppac.com. Thank you. Hey, Dave.
Thank you, Becky Lemansky with the Grand New Party PAC. Thank you guys so much for being a sponsor. Eric Nesbet running for governor. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. And I know you've got things to do. This guy's covering the whole state. It's a lot of work. Thank you for coming and sponsoring.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your leadership, and thanks for all the folks involved in the North Oakland Republican Club. You guys are really showing a great way of how to engage speakers, how to engage the grassroots, and how to make sure we can win and turn Michigan red again. We saw it last year for the federal level with President Trump. Donnie Seal led the way, and I know you guys helped her a lot in terms of keeping her seat and winning back the state house. This is the reason why Governor Whitmer is a lame duck right now. Yes, and so I just want to real quickly go through a little bit about me, what makes me tick, some of the challenges in Michigan, how to fix it. First thing, it is a funny spelling name, Eric with an A. Middle of 5 kids, all started with A's, and by the time Mom got to me, he was either going to be Eric or Erica with an A, and boy, am I glad she went with Eric. I would have grown up a little tougher if it was Erica. But growing up on that family farm, you understand the values of hard work, of patriotism, right and wrong, going to church on Sundays. You know the importance of letting girls be girls and boys be boys. We didn't have 50 pronouns in the school I went to, and we shouldn't have it in any schools in Michigan. And who thought that today we'd even be debating on whether men could play with women's sports? We're the feminists.
Yeah.
I went to a small college named Hillsdale. You guys have probably heard of it. Did my economics degree there. The basic lessons you learn on the farm, the common sense basic lessons you learn on the farm, you learned at Hillsdale on what has made America so great in our 250 years history as a nation. We have the oldest constitution in the world for a reason, yet we're a very young country. And the question is, what are we going to leave to that next generation? And that's why we're all involved. I have a young family. I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and God bless my wife, we have a 3.5-month-old. She came 2 weeks early, and she still came out 9 pounds, 14 ounces. Eileen and Mike know my wife a little bit. Good to see Eileen. I served in the house a little bit with Eileen and with Mike. But my wife's that rock of saying we got to win back the state here in Michigan. And what we've seen with this Democrat governor, with Democrats in Lansing, is that we expect so much better than what we're getting out of Lansing right now. From the COVID lockdowns, where the average student's 3/4 of a grade level behind in school, to being the only state in the nation to raise the income tax last year, to the Green New Scam that's industrializing 300,000 acres of our farm and forest land. It's up to us to win it back next year. And that's up and down the ticket. That's why I started early. President Trump showed the way last year. You got to start early. You got to engage communities that may not look like you and me. And we've been out there engaging. And I'm going to leave you with a little story. I know we agree that going into this next year and the new governor needs to make sure every state worker returns to office on day one. Only 1 out of 5 are actually showing up to the office right now. That we need to doge state government to make it more efficient and effective. That we need to pass ban on sanctuary cities, the local law enforcement work with federal law enforcement. Somebody that will stand with President Trump and return career and technical education to our schools and career training. But as I mentioned, America is turning 250 years old next year. We're a young country. And so as I meet some of these folks, new immigrants across, especially Metro Detroit, start having conversations with them. And they believe in a lot of the things we believe in. Opportunity for their kids. Good schools. Back to basics with schools, not 70 pronouns in our schools. And so I was talking to this Palestinian American, came here when he was 12. His dad started a business between Dearborn and Detroit, 700 square foot, local auto repair shop, and he's built that into a multi-tens of millions of dollars business. And he tells me he couldn't have done this anywhere else in the world. Like, there's other countries with free market economic systems and private property rights. He goes, no, America's different. You go to France, there's 4 generations of Algerians, and they're still Algerian, or they're not French. You go to Berlin, there's 4 generations of Turks in Berlin, and they're still not German, they're Turkish. I'm an American. My kids are American. And you and I may have a different religion, but I'm a capitalist. And I asked him why that is, and he goes, it's those radicals in the 1700s that had this belief, had this view of believing in the individual over the state, of believing in families over government. And this is what next year's election's about. It's not just another election. It's about where we're at to say that our kids, our grandkids have that same opportunity that we had. And making sure that I don't have to get on a plane when my kids grow up to go visit them. How do you bring that back, that opportunity back? And so I just say thank you for coming in. Thank you for the continued work. I look forward to continuing to engage Republicans and independents and sensible Democrats across the state as we win Michigan back. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sponsoring. Eric Nesbet for governor. And I'd like to also say there's an ice cream truck out there and everything's included. I told you you're going to get your money's worth thanks to these sponsors. They're doing a great job. Donnie Seal is here, our state rep. Donnie Seal, thank you for being a sponsor.
Okay, thanks you guys. I won't keep you, but first of all, raise your hand if you helped with the picnic, making the hot dogs, schlepping the stuff, bringing the coolers, that we all were able to enjoy it. Raise your hand. Yay, thanks to you guys. Thank you. The hot dogs were great. I appreciate it. So I am the state representative in Orion Township, Orion Oaks, where the dog park is. That's the district in which I serve. 110 state representatives. I'm number 54. I'm on my second term, and my job from the day one has to make government better. I used to be a realtor. I just met Judy. She's a realtor too. And I was in small business, and I got involved in government because I thought we could do better with our tax dollars. That's our #1 goal. So I got involved in the safety pass and the parks. That's where my heart is, to be outside. And we created in Orion Township, I don't know, hundreds of miles of extra paths that you could walk to school safely for your dogs and your kids. So now in state government, I want to do the same things, but the projects are bigger. They're called roads. I'm on the transportation budget. I happen to be the chair of the transportation budget for the state of Michigan now that we're in majority in the House. Yay, yay, we can stop the madness that's going up there. And now my major goal is to increase road funding without raising tax dollars. So our budget has been stuck at $6 billion. We're putting $9 billion in that budget. We have passed laws at the House level to be able to do this without raising taxes, to use the funding that's already there. So why isn't the budget passed? It's because we're stuck on this item, which is to fix the roads, the darn roads, without raising taxes. And that's what I'm here for. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Donnie Seal, thank you so much. Okay. So, thank you for coming to the Norc. Is this your first Norc picnic?
Yes.
So who are you?
Melanie Navo.
Melanie Navo, where'd you come from?
I am from the village of Ortonville, Brandon Township. I'm on the council and planning commission there.
Nice. And this is your first Norc event?
Picnic.
Oh, the first Norc picnic. You've come to our stuff before.
Yeah, I did my first parade on the 4th in
Nice.
Clarkston. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, hopefully you'll come to more of our stuff.
I come to the meetings. I'm actually a volunteer for Michigan Fair Elections, and Patrice Johnson's at your September meeting.
She's coming to our September meeting, and she's going to talk about ranked choice voting and things like that.
Yeah.
We got a lot. It's an important thing.
Very.
And election integrity is probably the most important thing to our Norc members.
Yeah, very much so. And we got to get the word out about ranked choice voting. It's very important.
Well, thanks for coming.
This is fun. Thank you.
All right, we've got at our picnic, stay here, Bill. We got Bill Best here, who is the captain of the precinct delegates in the area. Right, Bill?
Hi.
He's also close friends with Uncle Sam, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
I've seen him around.
We got the Kowals here at our picnic.
Hey, Matthew, how you doing?
Very good.
Hey, Matt.
We got the former senator and former state rep Kowals here. And who's this guy?
And that is Tess. That's Tess.
Hi, Tess.
She's not elected to anything.
Hi, Tess. I think Tess will help anybody get elected.
She's working on it.
How many Norc picnics do you think you've been to?
All of them.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Yeah, pretty much, I'm sure. And it's another successful pick.
I missed the one.
Very good.
I was in the hospital and I couldn't make it.
Oh, that's right. We're still mad that you didn't make that one.
Yeah, well,
We needed you
Hospital's no excuse.
We needed you to carry in all the heavy stuff. You had back problems, right?
yeah, we had some back issues.
Well,
He's a slacker. You know.
we are so lucky to have the Kowals not only involved with Norc, but always been good sponsors of Norc when they were candidates, and Mike Kowal's on our board. We appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate everything that Norc's done for the Republican Party here in Oakland County.
Yeah, you've made it a nice professional organization.
Thank you, Eileen. Great. Well, thank you, Eileen and Mike Kowal, and Tess Kowal.
And the cameraman's not bad either.
That's Dave Schell, our cameraman. Thanks.
A plus, definitely.
Yeah, what organization are you with?
I'm a president of a nonprofit called Creative Society. We actually study climate and environment. We're a scientific community. Our big topic is micro and nanoplastic.
Okay, so you think we've been ingesting a lot of micro and nanoplastics?
I don't think that we have been ingesting a lot of micro nanoplastics. Today's studies show that we already have a spoon of nanoplastic in our brains. So we've definitely, I would say it's a very big topic that should be discussed today.
How do we avoid it?
Well, today there's no solutions on how can we clean up our planet, our water from micro and nanoplastics. We say that we need to have a unified community of scientists that will work on these issues to figure out what we can do in the future. Because we understand that getting rid of plastic is not a solution. Today everything we see is made out of plastic. So we need to figure out a way on how we can utilize it safely, and also how can we take it out of our bodies.
Should we avoid plastic containers and things like that in our foods?
I think it's probably a safe bet to do so, but unfortunately right now micro and nanoplastic is in the air we breathe and the water we drink. It's in our food, it's everywhere, it's unavoidable. So even if we avoid plastic containers or plastic bags, it's still everywhere else around us.
Is it true it's dangerous to put a plastic water bottle in a freezer and freeze the water? And does that give microplastics into the water?
I'm sure it does. I don't know the logistics of that, but I'm sure that the plastic bottle does give off some microplastic into the water.
And not to put plastics in the microwave oven, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Ready.
All right, we got another first-timer at a Norc event, right?
Absolutely.
And what's your name?
My name is Tali, and I'm with ALLATRA International Public Movement. We stand for religious freedom in the U.S. and internationally. And it's great that people here are gathering, supporting the values of religious freedom, because that's a foundation of the U.S. That's the foundation of the democracy. That's the First Amendment. And that is the most important thing that people all over the world can unite on. And that's the cornerstone of the American democracy.
It is indeed, and religious freedom is one of the reasons why so many people came here from around the world at the very start of our country. And you came here from Ukraine, correct?
Yes. But ALLATRA International Public Movement is international. We have participants in 180 countries. And right now what we are seeing that the biggest threat to democracy is this covert network which operates on the territory of multiple countries, but its leadership is in Russia, in Moscow. It's called Reitzer's Anti-Cult Network, led by Alexander Dworkin, very notorious person who has been committing atrocities against religious minorities in Russia, but also using this network to manipulate democratic societies. So his minions in Europe and in the US launching the smear campaigns against the religious minorities, trying to demonize them, trying to dehumanize them, and then we're seeing acts of violence against religious minorities when the houses are being torched, where people are being beaten up, where journalists are running smear campaigns to his tune, to Alexander Dworkin's tune. So leftovers of this organization, Cult Awareness Network, were legally banned in the US in 1995, where they lost a big lawsuit for kidnapping people, so-called deprogramming. But many of those deprogrammers are currently running smear campaigns against politicians, and we see they demonize politicians to the point where there are assassination attempts. And once again, there is example in the US last year, and there is example in Slovakia, where Robert Fico was attacked last year as well. He survived, thanks God, but we're seeing the copy-paste blueprint. We're seeing the very same thing with Shinzo Abe in Japan. He was assassinated by a person who was who went to this anti-cult websites, read all their hateful rhetoric, and then committed violence. So this covert network of manipulation is the most it's been covered for years, but right now it's been exposed. There have been multiple films and articles exposing this network. One of the most important ones is the film called The Impact. Groundbreaking documentary was released last year, and it exposes the whole covert nature of these operations. So
where is this organization you belong to? Where's the headquarters?
Russian Raidsers, led by Alexander Dworkin, is located in Moscow, Russia, but he is a long-term vice president of European Anti-Cult Federation called FACRIS, financed by the French government. They support the war of Russia against Ukraine, but still they get funding from French government, which is a very puzzling thing. There have been multiple petitions from scholars from all over the globe for French president to stop funding this network that supports Russian aggression. Yet they are still on the bankroll of French government. Here in the U.S., we have seen their attacks on President Donald Trump, because one of the faces of this network, Stephen Hassan, launched a book, The Cult of Trump in 2019. And we have seen the escalation of hatred towards MAGA movement, towards participants of the Republican Party after that book. It was hyped up till the point where half of the American population was demonized and dehumanized, because the goal of it is for part of the people to be dehumanized to the point where other part of the society does not see them as human beings. This is a Nazi blueprint which was working in Germany successfully. They launched this campaign against Jewish people, against Jehovah's Witnesses, and right now Dworkin mastered these manipulative techniques.
And what's your position with the organization? Are you a spokesman?
I'm working on global analytics, so we prepare reports for human rights organizations, for the Department of State. We're working with the USCIRF, a religious commission of the Department of State, working for, they have been condemning Dworkin since 2009. In 2009, since then, every year they launch reports that this guy is a threat for religious freedom, not only in Russia, but all over the globe. And yet he has not yet been sanctioned. In fact, he still holds American citizenship, because in the 80s he was living in the US, and that's how he organized the network.
Does your group have a website or something if people want more information?
Absolutely. Please check allatra.org, and you can find all the information there.
Can you spell that out?
ALLATRA.org. And there is also an amazing website called actfiles.org, which is independent journalists are running it, but the kind of analytical work on these operations of this network are truly fascinating. So I suggest.
Great. Well, good luck to you. That's very important stuff you're doing, and it's eye-opening. Hopefully, people will check out your website. Maybe you can come and speak to us sometime.
Thank you so much.
We got Tom. Tom, tell us about yourself and who you have worked for.
I'm Tom Kreitler, and I've worked for the federal government for a long time. And after Vietnam, I came back, and they asked me if I'd like to help on the shuttle program, and that's where I went.
And what'd you do for it?
I'm an engineer, and basically developing manufacturing components so that they can do the layups for the residents and whatnot.
That's amazing. Were you involved anything with this, the ISS or any of that stuff?
Listen, what we did where I was, we made the speed brake, the brake that comes out in the wing and spreads out when it lands.
I remember that.
We did that. We made all the life support systems on board, and we made all the escapement systems when they land if they have a fire, which is very possible. I think one time we did, to get out of the shuttle in time.
That's incredible. It's a shame they retired it so early, isn't it?
I agree. It's too bad. I couldn't believe it. But you know, this is this world now.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it was designed for 100 flights each, and they only flew what, like 30 times or something?
Yes. But I was there until we lost Challenger, and that was a very sad thing. I mean, we tried to tell them this is not a good.
Oh, so you knew something was up even before that happened?
Oh, sure. We knew it was cold there. We had what we call the IUS. That is the launching motor system to place the satellites in orbit. We had 2 of those in that cargo bay. That thing just blew up like it was, the 4th of July.
So you knew that if it were cold out there, that in the solid boosters, that would cause a problem.
Absolutely. We knew it, and almost all the support manufacturers were aware of it. And Morton Thiokol just, raised hell with them. But no, we got to get this up. This is the 3rd time, would have been the 3rd time, for a delay due to weather. And at the time, what they're trying to do is to get over a Russian airbase because they found that something's going on there, and we got to find out what it is. And, we lost Sally, we lost a lot of good people.
It is so sad, and we lost one of the most interesting engineering projects in U.S. history. That space shuttle was incredible.
It was. The people that were involved, even today, our vehicles have more computer technology and has a bigger base than what we even had on the shuttle. See if you can believe that. So there was a lot of calculations that had to be made by our astronauts.
Do you think there's a chance we could ever resurrect the shuttle and get it back up there again?
Well, I don't know if Elon wants to take over. He's a marvel, Elon Musk. I know that there's a lot of people that go back and forth with him, but I tell you right now, what he has done is unbelievable with this new motor he's coming out with. After I got out of working on the shuttle and came back, I needed a job. And anyway, oh geez.
That's not the kind of engineering I guess you were into, a telephone.
No, it wasn't.
What's your opinion of the space launch system?
With the Elon's?
SLS, no, the thing that, it's sort of he took the space shuttle and reconfigured it into this hugely expensive rocket, one-time use rocket.
Yes. I think it really has its potential. We're just looking forward to really finding out what it's going to do.
The thing I find strange about it, here it's using all the space shuttle parts, the motors and everything else, the solid rocket boosters and the fuel tank and all that. I don't know why it's so expensive and why it's so late.
Well, everything's expensive, and they put, you can't believe the paperwork we have to file on every bolt. We have to have it torqued just right. It's incredible, all the filing paperwork that goes on, the clerical part. I'm just guessing, but I would say it's at least 15% of the shuttle cost or these missiles to go into outer space.
Well, it's incredible. What's your Tom? What's your last name?
Kreitler.
Okay, very good, Tom. And hey, thank you for all you've done and all you do, and nice to meet you, sir.